Yeah, this is Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, right here in Tomah, Wisconsin. The Dairyland Super Pull, the best and granddaddy of them all, coming up. A week away also from picking the final members of the Dream Team. It's going to be excitement right here in Tomah, Wisconsin. Next on Motor Madness.
Tonight, the cranberry capital of Wisconsin becomes the ground-pounding center of the universe. Live on TNN Motorsports, it's the #1 truck and tractor pull in the world, the NTPA Dairyland Super Pull. Hear the power, feel the noise from Recreation Park in Tomah. To introduce our first class of the evening, well, here's that classy guy, Dan Pastorini.
Well, thanks, Steve. We're definitely going to hear the power and feel the noise tonight, and there's no better class than the Unlimited class for raw power. We'll see combinations of 4 and 5 supercharged Chevys, Chryslers, and Oldsmobiles, and a mixture thereof, as well as a silent thunder of 3 and 4 jet turbines, all of which put out between 10 and 12,000 horsepower. Now, if you remember, back in the 70s, the Allison aircraft engines were the kings of the sport. But as the NTPA evolved, technology took over, and the higher RPM engines have made the Allisons under-horsepowered in class. So if it's power you want, we've got power tonight. Steve?
I can't think of a better way to start this Unlimited class than with Mike Piper of Mount Vernon, Illinois. And Mike has a brand new Synergen Just Add Dirt tractor. Untried, this will be its first hook to the sled. And the sled, of course, is the object of everybody's attention, trying to get that thing down this very, very good course. In fact, Dusty Rhodes, I talked to a lot of the pullers, and they unanimously say that consistently, year in and year out, this is the best track they pull on.
Well, I know in the back the excitement's running rampant. The ground's getting ready to shake. The earth is going to tremble as they go for that coveted full pull tonight.
Now, these are 5 engines. 4 are Arius, and 1 is a JP1. He didn't use 5 Ariuses because the tractor would be too heavy. There's no minimum weight. There is a maximum weight because weight is a huge advantage in this sport, unlike any other form of motorsports. And the action they pack into 300 feet right in front of this crowd is unbelievable. There's his wife, Barb, looking on. Now, he will be the test puller. If Mike doesn't like this pull, he can throw it out. Has to make his decision right away. He can throw it out and drop to 6. If he likes it, fine, he takes it and stands on that number.
Yeah, he can stand down. He can go ahead, but he's got to go. As soon as it's over, got to say, I want another one. I'm going to stand on this one.
That's right.
And that's what it's all about tonight. Standing on it, baby.
Listen to this thing. 5 motors. The amount of methanol fuel that goes to those engines is just unbelievable. Well, taking the slack out of the chain.
Yeah, I tell you what, everybody's sitting on ready. The first pull. Here we go.
You're on board the weight saver on this sled. That's what makes this sled work. Whoa, Mike, yeah. Piper. All right, the crowd roars its approval. He is very likely to take this pull. In fact, I would almost guarantee he will take this pull.
He got up on top of it from the get-go, brought it all the way down. What power. The whole ground, guys, is just trembling. Now these things fire off.
Not to mention our table here at home base and our monitors walking all over. Now, balance is absolutely everything. 323 feet and change. Tremendous balance. Got the weight transfer just right. Let's have a look at it again. Dan Pastorini joins us.
Going on
Back up
forward,
here.
Dante.
Yeah, he's got his weight transfer real good here. He's smoothed into the throttle. He didn't nail it too hard. He's got the front wheels up a little bit, getting the weight transfer on the rear tires real good here. And he's got a good solid pull going. 323 feet for the first pull. This is a new rig for him too, so I'm sure he's happy with the way it's working.
Oh, he's got to be thrilled to death. The brand new Just Add Dirt tractor sets the mark. We'll be right back to Tomah after this. Welcome back to the grandest truck and tractor pull of them all. The Dairyland Super Pull, a huge crowd on hand, and we are really looking forward to this. We've seen one pull already, and we're pretty darn excited about it. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Evans, Dan Pastorini, and Dusty Rhodes here at home base. And, Dan, it isn't just the Unlimiteds. We've got a huge 3-hour package tonight.
No, that's right. You know, we've got the two-wheel drives, and then we got the super rigs or the big rigs later on. The two-wheel drive vehicles are kind of like the funny cars in drag racing, if you will. They're pretty exciting to watch. They do the great wheel stands, but a lot of horsepower for single-engine vehicles.
Oh, yeah, and the wheel stands are terrific. And, Dusty, knowing you have got to have some surprises for us as we look at the two-wheel drive trucks. Wait till you see these babies. We didn't have them on our show last year. What have you got for us tonight?
Well, I tell you what, when we arrived here, there were thousands of people waiting in line because they knew they were getting ready to see some full pulls. But the question that me and Dante, because we was walking in there together, was asked, did you bring them? Are they here? Are they in? Are we going to get a look at them? Yes, I did. A little traveling music. The American Dream Girls are right over here, brother. Yes. That's my baby girls. Look at them. Yeah, Darcy, Stancy there, Crystal, and Kim. They love them here. I'm telling you.
He's done it again, Dan.
I know. They just, he's
Hi,
like
ladies. Welcome. Come on in.
He's like a fly to sugar.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, Sugar Daddy.
I think it's his money.
Big old daddy, I'm telling you. Right here, the excitement is ready to roll tonight. The Dream Girls are here. Dante's here. Steve is here. And you know what? If these girls can't make a full pull, nobody can.
I tell you what, let's talk about a full pull and exactly what that means. This is the traditional 300-foot NTPA course. A little different tonight, though. A full pull doesn't automatically put you into a pull-off. The 3 longest distances will put you in a pull-off, which is why you'll see them go not just 300 feet, but 320, 330, whatever they can get out, because the top 3 in the unlimited class will come back for a pull-off. Same holds true in the two-wheel drive class. When we get to the diesel trucks, well, the longest pull wins. No pull-off.
And that makes it a little bit more exciting for the fans, too. They're able to see the trucks have a pull-off situation and not just the ones that go the full distance.
Yep.
So the best performing ones are the ones that'll do it. I think Dave Burns has something for us down there. David?
Good, baby.
You stay. Well, we obviously have some problems with David's mic there, Steve.
You know, I think that first unlimited tractor might have finished off his microphone. He was about 3 feet from it.
I'll tell you what, I was standing right in front of the thing when he started that motor, and I'm used to these motors, but it kind of scared me when it started up.
And up next is Bill Leichner, and he has to take this pull. The trial pull is over, and nobody really likes to pull second, Dan.
No, they don't.
At least if you pull first, you've got another shot if the sled is wrong. If you pull second and the guy throws out the pull, they change the sled up. This is a tough situation. Bill is very glad that the previous puller took that pull.
That's right, and it's a difficult pull situation for him because he's got to make a good pull here to get in the pull off. 323.5 feet's a long pull
Right
for Mike Piper.
Oh, baby.
You know, you got to be ready to go. You know, he's into farming and trucking, but tonight he's into full pulling. Some of these guys right here tonight may be finalists for that American Dream Dusty Rhodes team that we're going to be announcing on a special next week. But, guys, this is going to be a good one, Steve.
Oh, yeah, these are
Back
3
up ready.
572 cubic inch Arius racing engines. And it's really not power so much as it is wheel speed. And you'll see wheel speed of about 160 miles an hour. The tractor may be going 30 or 40. The wheel speed is what matters.
That's right, but he's such an exceptional driver. Here we go.
It's a little nose heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
He missed the balance just a little bit. The front end was lazy in coming up. By the time it did in weight transfer, it was a little too late. And I'm sure Bill knew that up on top of that tractor, that was not exactly what they wanted. They have all kinds of suitcase weights they can move around on these things. And they could have used a couple of 100 pounds off the nose of that tractor.
And he was on the brakes from the get-go, Steve. You'll see him in the cockpit here. He's working the brake real hard, which is hurting his momentum getting going and getting that sled going. He also gives up a little bit of power disadvantage here with only 3 motors. He's giving up about 3,000 or 4,000 horsepower here to the other guys. You can see him get sideways there. He grabs a hold of the brake. to bring it back to center here. Almost crossed the center line in it. Did a great job getting that thing down the track. He's one of the best drivers out here.
Dante, let me ask you a question, too, for the layman at home. I thought he dug a hole when he come out. I mean, such a thing as getting too deep in the hole, not getting up on top of the ground. And you're right about that, but I guarantee you, there's a lot of them might be digging holes tonight.
Well, that's true. You know, he just kind of got a bad start there, and he just couldn't get going.
That's right. And I doubt that is going to make it in a pull-off. I really would think that there'll be 2 runs better than that, or 2 pulls better than that to make the unlimited pull-off. Big disappointment for Bill, but hey, you know.
Well, like I said earlier, he's respected as one of the best drivers out here, and he's got a little bit of disadvantage from a horsepower standpoint, but what he makes up in the ballast and the driving ability is different.
Notice something else. Our first 2 pullers have lined up to the right. That is their option. They can put the sled wherever they want it, and that's because there's a little bit of a slope at about 180 feet on this track that wants to drive the tractor to the left. So you'll see the pullers that notice that is, if I noticed it, they did. They will line up to the right and let it drift to the left, because if you cross those chalk lines, you're out of here. If you even touch them, you're out of here.
That's right.
Well, we're going to come back here for more of the NTPA Dairyland Super Bowl right after a few messages. Stay with us. It's going to get really nuts. Welcome back, everyone. You're just in time to see our 3rd unlimited competitor of tonight. And remember, the top 3 in pulling distance go into a pull-off. And this is Multi-Chaos. That's the name of the tractor owned by Randy Petro of Camden, Ohio. And this is a feat of engineering, Dan Pastrini.
Yeah, it's a little bit different look from the inline motors, if you will, compared to the transverse mounting of his motors. He tries to get his traction go back to his rear tires a little bit quicker.
You know, Randy Petro is a respected veteran on the NTPA circuit with over 20 years of competition under his belt. In 1997, he was named the Hard Charger of the Year for his aggressive attack off the line. And if there is a secret to Randy's success, it can be summed up in one word: power.
Randy Petro and his son Jess operate their very successful pulling teams from their Camden, Ohio home. Like all pullers, they are constantly searching for ways to find more power.
Jess, we got to come up with a way to get the 5th motor on this tractor.
Well, there's that Aries engine back in the shop.
Yeah, but it's too heavy. We can't make weight.
So we need something lighter?
Yep.
Would a small block work?
Yeah, that'd work if we had one.
We do have one.
Hey, we do.
Mom's truck! You know, Dad, this is going to be a good idea. I think this will really work.
Yeah.
What do you guys think you're doing? They might pick up a loan. Or do something useful like mow the yard.
Yeah, right. Lawnmower!
I don't think what they did that lawnmower is what Kathy had in mind.
No.
And look at this. We got an onboard shot from Randy Petro and Multi-Chaos.
You watch the ground start to shake and the shimmy right here. Getting ready to stand on it one more time. Oh, baby. Oh.
Nose heavy again. Missed that balance.
A little bit nose heavy. I think he was trying to compensate for the mounting of his engines, transferring all that weight to the rear tires, as we spoke of earlier. He did have a little bit of problem getting that front end up, and it just didn't get a chance to really hook up.
And you know what? It didn't have the torque. Those engines didn't sound as crisp as I've heard them in the past. Just didn't quite have the torque, and that's, like we said, it's the wheel speed, and you get that with torque.
You know what, Dante? Sometimes you talk about having too much weight. Too much on board, and I think maybe right here you get a look at this might be too much.
You're right,
on board.
or down on power. Either one, you know, it's causing that front end to kind of bobble a little bit, and he's not able to get the weight transfer to the rear tires like he'd like to. So he's kind of lazy coming off there. Now we see him get a little bit sideways. That could be the drift that Steve alluded to earlier.
Right.
But, you know, he just had a combination of things right there. It's a new setup for him, and it's very difficult when you try new things, and I'm sure he's going to he's on the right track here.
All right, let's check in with Dave Burns. Dave, are you there, son?
Yes, this time I believe I am, Steve, and I believe we have a full pull on my equipment now. Randy, not quite, but it looks strong. Got a little drifting there. You really had to play with the brakes, didn't you?
Yeah, we had to hit the brakes pretty good there, and I don't know. It seemed like we had one motor fluttering quite a bit there, but we're a little bit horsepower short on this class, but it's a decent run.
How is the track? Does it feel pretty sticky for tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good big tire track, I believe, but the smaller tires, the two-witters, won't be quite as good, but it'll probably come around here once the big tires will make a track for the little guys.
All right, Randy Petro. No doubt, guys, there will be a great show tonight.
He could still get in the pull-off. Here you're looking at this awesome four-turbine engine tractor of Gardner Stone. Can you believe that so far? The mark to beat is 268.4 feet. Can Stone do it? He ought to be able to with 4 Chinook helicopter motors. Stay with us. We'll be back to Tomah. Well, Dusty's Dream Girls will tell you, ExperienceCountry.com. Your personal source for all things country. From race cars to country stars, connect to country.com. All right, guys, the big 3 are left in this unlimited category, and this is Gardner Stone. Look, what a view from up there, Dave.
That looks like the inside of an F-14 fighter, whatever those things are called.
He's a car dealer from Middlebury, Vermont, and the nice thing about these turbines, very low maintenance. Sometimes they don't put quite the power of the internal combustion engines, but the other guys kind of envy the lack of maintenance that Gardner has to do. Now, he told me that he thought this track was very fair for both styles of tractors. Sometimes there's a turbine track and sometimes there's a piston engine track. He thought this one showed no favors.
I tell you what, you guys, he's no stranger to victory lane. You know what I'm talking about? Big-time winner. This is unbelievable, guys. Whoa, man. Gonna light the sky up right here.
Yes, he will.
Tomah. He's gonna light it up.
He's definitely not hurting for horsepower with these 4 engines.
No.
I mean, it's capable of 12,000 horsepower. He had a little problem over here last year, if you remember, in the final against Rodland Knox, and he couldn't get that one engine fired. But you were down there, and they had some mechanism to show the
compressor stall. Now they've got little instruments on each motor that tell them what's happening. Compressor. These are the same motors used in today's unlimited hydroplane.
Oh man, you can feel the heat right here. You can see it.
Watch the fire. Watch the fire.
Oh man! Look at that ride! Look at that ride! Whoa! Hold out the ballpark!
Oh baby!
Hold it out the ballpark!
That virtually assures Gardner Stone a spot in the pull-off.
That got right.
He was having to use the brakes very, very hard. And when those wheels are in the air, they steer just like your old grandpa's Ford tractor. You got a left brake and a rear brake, independent rear brake. That's how you
but
steer.
Dante's grandpa's Ford tractor didn't have them engines on it like that, I guarantee you.
You could have plowed the lower 40 real quick, huh?
That's a pull.
Okay, let's have a look at what happened. He just nose heavy, absolutely. But still, the raw power pulled it through for Gardner Stone. I thought for a minute he was going to suffer the fate of the 2 previous pullers, didn't you, Dan?
Yeah, and he really had to get on those brakes hard. These engines, once they're on, Steve. You can't really feather the throttles in those things like you can the piston engines, and he was heavy onto the brakes.
But I tell you, that huge
pull.
power. I think with some adjustments to that tractor, Gardner Stone could pull it into the next county. Dave Burns?
Well, for Gardner Stone, that looked about the way it was supposed to be done. Put the hammer down and just keep her going. Was that flawless from your side, Gardner?
Yeah, we are just trying to keep it in bounds. It got a little close on the right-hand side, but I had to stay close to the right side in order to be able to get it out.
You're a guy that loves power. What's this I hear about maybe you going offshore power boating? Is that going to happen anytime soon?
We've been building a boat for 2.5 years with twin turbines in it. Hopefully it'll be done this winter. I can't wait to try it.
If it flies, I think Gardner's going to be in it, guys.
Gardner loves speed.
The general.
Okay, and here is one of the winningest tractor drivers of all times. That is Dave Walsh, and he is going to be up next. The grain farmer from Mauston, Wisconsin, and he could indeed set a new record here tonight. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Trunk jump number 2. All right, we are back at the biggest power and truck and tractor pull in the entire world. This is certainly the fans' favorites, and this is the Walsh brothers, Dan, the Irish Challenger.
The Irish Challenger. I have a little bit of Irish in me, as you know, and I'm pulling for this young laddie to make a full pull here.
Is that true?
Yes.
Is that true? Brother, he can pull, I guarantee it. You said, you laid it out. One of the biggest names in this great sport. Dave Walsh getting ready to do it right here.
20 years.
Wisconsin native, 20 years.
20 years
almost
of
as long as you played in the NFL.
Almost as long as I've been born.
Well, what is that?
Pastor Andy, that's 2 great lies. Irish.
Yeah.
And
I'm Pastorini from Tuscany and Genoa, and then I'm County Cork, Ireland, Brady. My mother would have you.
Well, this is Walsh out of Boston, Wisconsin. He's only got 3 of those turbines. Remember, we saw Gardner Stone with 4.
Yeah.
But he's also had the benefit of watching 4 previous pullers who may be able to help him get that thing done.
Let me ask you something, Dante. Is the track now starting to take a toll? Is it a different groove? Will they get in a different groove here? What, Steve? Are you reading?
You know, Dave Walsh is considered one of the local boys at this NTPA event. He grew up just down the road, about 30 miles from Tomah, in the town of Boston, Wisconsin, surrounded by a strong family that loves pulling. At the Walsh farm, they grow 3 things: corn, soybeans, and champion pullers.
The Walsh family runs an extremely successful farming operation and grain business. And over the years, they've also created a name for themselves in the world of truck and tractor pulling.
You know, Dave, the whole family's proud of you, the way you've been doing in the past in the unlimited class and with your national titles. And this year, you're on your way, a good start for another one.
Well, you know, our family's very proud of you. In that two-wheel drive class, there's a lot of tough competitors, and you've been doing some excellent driving.
You know, but we kind of owe it all to Dad. He taught us the basics. Even with James and John in the past, they were the champions.
Yes, he's been very hard on us, but he's been a good coach, and he taught us a lot of fundamentals of pulling.
Dave and Dan, how many times have I told you gotta practice? The fundamentals of pulling is practice, practice, practice. So, let's go!
Oh, not again!
Oh, you can't go, you gotta pull harder! You gotta pull harder! Dave, you're behind! Dave, get going there!
Let's see if we have a new hammer.
We have. Let's see if the practice pulling paw around the farm.
Take a look at
off
this right here, guys. Once again, getting ready to rock and roll right here. I guarantee it, this is going to be big time full. Look at them 3 things. Look like wash tubs.
Look how they turn color there, that bronze color. There's a lot of heat coming out of there. Look at the thrust of those things.
Got to get up on top now.
There he goes.
Got to run on it, baby.
Oh, he's got a good run going.
Yeah.
He's got a good one.
Whoa! Somebody stop me!
Somebody stop me is right. Look at that.
Oh.
There we go.
Yeah, that Irish, he's got a little that Irish libation, maybe, you know, that me and you going to have afterwards.
That's what he put into the engine. That's what
I hear you.
Well, the Irish Challenger was apparently up to the challenge. We'll have to wait officially. It's a laser measurement, so it's accurate to the 1/10 of an inch.
Here he goes. He's got a little slingshot on the old slide there on the sled. He's got a good run going. Wheels are on the ground right now, but it's really got good tire spin. As you can see, those tires spinning at better than 160 miles an hour.
At first, I thought maybe it was a little nose heavy, but if you look, he had that balance nailed.
Yes, he did. Good pull, good strong pull. When he got about half track here, he was really moving.
Yeah, you see him right up on top here, getting a little sideways right here, but I think you're right.
Let's go down to David and see what Mr. Walsh has to say. David?
We will ask him. Dave Walsh, the first member of the Walsh brothers to go out tonight, and he in the unlimited class. Dave, how did that feel? It looked a little bit tough there near the end.
Well, I want to go straighter. It pulled me left here, and that's why I didn't want to do it, because I think this left side of the track is a little bit softer. But if I get in the pull-off, I'll make a totally different run than this one.
Well, okay, we'll send it back upstairs.
Thank you, Dave Burns. A great effort. And you know, last year, what a magic moment we had towards the end of the show when Rodalyn Knox, the country girl, won the unlimited class. And it was special for Rodalyn because she did not compete in '96 after winning the '95 national championship. Now, here was the pull 1 year ago tonight that won it all for Rodalyn Knox. After a year out of action, she came back and hadn't lost a step. Her son, Brian, her husband, John, had the tractor perfect, and she was but she had not yet won. There, she knew she had won when the Arfon turbine wasn't up to besting her mark, and the lady, the country girl, gave her husband a big country hug. And you know what? She's ready to try to repeat that title here in Tomah. Stay with us when we come back. Can the only lady national champion ever in this sport win again? We're back live on TNN Motorsports in Tomah, Wisconsin. Before we see our last unlimited competitor, let's check out our Miller news and notes. Points going into this weekend's Sears Point after the Pocono 500. Jeremy Mayfield, so glad now to not only lead the points, but have won his first race, a very popular victory. Jeff Gordon trails him in the Winston Cup points by, well, as you can see, they're a little over 100 points. All right, next up, it is going to be Bobby Labonte, Jeff Burton. You can kind of follow along there. And you know, here, We're going to get a shot of our Synergen winner circle. There they are.
That's my
There's the
girls
Dream
right there,
Girls
Dream Team.
for tonight's NTPA Budweiser Dairyland Super Bowl. Everybody hopes they end up there tonight for the Synergen Cup trophy. And there's a lot at stake beside the cash and bragging rights with these pullers. Some of tonight's winners will also receive very valuable gift certificates from our additional prize sponsors, Crane Cams, our friend Mike, and the guys at Jet Hot Coatings. And all the NTPA pullers are thrilled to have the support of these respected names in the automotive industry. And going to be really glad to have Dusty's Dream Girls. Well, here's the dream lady in this sport, Rodlin Knox, trying to make it 2 in a row. Can she get in the pull-off?
Well, she's been pulling for 8 years, and as you said earlier, Steve, she had that layoff last
I got to
year.
tell you something. Her son, Brian Kuchip, is scared to death of the tires on this tractor. They have never been run. They are brand new, and he's worried that he doesn't have the right air pressure in them. These tires were purchased 3 years ago for $5,600 and then set out in the New Hampshire weather to cure for 3 years.
Well, we're going to try them out right now. They're out of the New Hampshire weather. They into the heat. Come on, baby. Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be close to the pull-off. She had it right.
She had that thing sideways.
And you know what? They thought that tractor was going to go to the left.
Yeah.
And it did exactly the opposite. Hooked to the right. She wasn't ready for it because I heard her son Brian say, Mom, line to the right and be prepared to go left.
Well, she didn't quite get there, but that's a good pull, I guarantee you. Take a look back here now. Well, the sphere coming off, Dante.
Yeah, she's hooked up here pretty good. She gets moving to the right here. She starts correcting.
Yeah, right in
torque
here.
Of that
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
It looks like a real good smooth ride here, but then as that sled comes up and loads her in, now all of a sudden it's kicking right.
It just hooked right, and she was waiting for it to go left.
Yeah. She was trying to hang on to that slope over here, but unfortunately it just didn't hook up for her the right way. That's a shame. There it is right there. Look at that.
Yep, I got a feeling Mike may have been right. He just doesn't have enough experience with those tires. Let's go down to Dave Burns.
Well, we'll talk to Rodlin and just ask her. Sometimes, Rodlin, you can set up and think you know exactly what it's going to do, and it does the opposite. Is that what happened here?
Well, we put new tires on here, and I think we just didn't have the balance quite right. It just didn't get a real good start off the starting line, but the Mopar engines ran really strong, and we'll be back another day.
All right, Rodlin, she's still pleased with the run, guys.
Well, I think she should be, Dan, even though she didn't make the pull-off. It's still with brand new tires and early on in the season for her. She's looking pretty good.
Yeah, she's looking real good. You know, she's had this the sponsorship just come on board now, and they got a little bit more money involved, and they're happy. They're doing a good job with it.
Here you go. Take a look here now.
Gardner Stone, Dave Walsh, and Mike Piper. Those are the three that will make the pull-off. A little bit of a surprise, I think, that Rodlin Knox is not in there. Yeah. Now, understand, between now and the pull-off, they go to that weight transfer device, a.k.a. known as a sled, and there's a lot of things they can do. They can put more weight into the box that transfers. They can also transfer the box faster.
Yep.
I guarantee you, they'll make it a serious challenge.
There's a little bit of weight they're going to add.
And I tell you what, every one of these guys that are running right here in these finals are really up for grabs for members of the American Dream Team that will be named at that special next Friday night. I guarantee you don't want to miss the girls in the back. What excitement we have running rampant right here. Big special next Friday. Dream Team will be complete. And you know what? You two guys might be close to being on that thing, and you know.
On the team.
Oh, yeah.
On the team,
Big,
really?
yeah, hats, shirts.
I get a hat?
And opportunity.
What a guy. I get a hat.
And shirt.
And shirts.
But you can't make me shoes. My feet are too big. I know that. Okay, stay with us, everybody. We're going to be right back to Tomah, Wisconsin with Dusty, the Dream Girls, and the pull-off. Can the turbine power overcome the piston engine machines? Well, get your money down. For all you fans who want to know more about NTPA pulling, why not subscribe to The Puller magazine? It's the only national monthly covering the sport of truck and tractor pulling. The Puller is a fun, glossy magazine that includes everything you need to know, from tech talk to personalities to great action photos. For more information about how you can get The Puller and the benefits of becoming an NTPA member, call the NTPA at 614-436-1761. Dave Burns, what's going on with that device they call the sled?
Well, Jim Lutke, his father Lloyd, and the rest of his crew are going to add about a net 800 pounds to the tractor. They're going to move the weight forward, and they're going to add some weight, making about a net 800-pound difference. They think that'll lessen it by about 14 feet. But what a cool job to have. Now, he's a businessman. He owns a small trucking company, does Jim Lutke. But for 3 months every summer, this is what he does. He has 2 sleds that he and his father take around to all the NTPA events, and they put them together, they serve them. This is what they do. What a great thing to do if you're Jim Lutke. If you love pulling, why not have this job?
That is Jimmy the Hammer Lutke right there. And apparently having a little problem with the sled, but he'll get it figured out. Now, this track is going to change a little bit as the sun is starting to go down, and you never really know, Dan, what it's going to be, if it's going to be better or worse. It just depends on the dirt and how deep the water is down in the soil. So it's a good thing a lot of these guys are farmers and really understand what it's like working with the soil.
Well, it's definitely an advantage working with the soil, because we had some rain come through here the other night that really drenched the track pretty well. It was pretty consistent earlier, but as the tractors go down it chews it up a little bit, softens it up maybe. You know, they're going to have to make a lot of weight changes, a lot of gear changes.
But Jimmy Lutke's goal right now is to stop these people in the tracks. No full pulls, no 300-foot efforts.
This is Mike Piper here getting ready to do his pull-off run, his first pull-off run.
He's got to keep it straight to win the pull-off. That is going to be the secret. It was the secret to getting into the pull-off.
Yeah, now, you know, you said it, and Dante said it. I spoke about it earlier. Is that
he's having some problems, Dusty.
You know, after a pull, coming back, there's little problems, little things that happen. And right now, you can see right down here, Piper's in a little bit of trouble, Dante.
It looks like he's got a problem with his 5th engine there. It's not kicking over.
Yeah.
You know, he might have to make this run on 4 engines.
I'm not absolutely sure you can do that. Well, it depends on how they're hooked and how they're geared, and the clutches are on which motor.
I think you can disengage the clutch, though, and freewheel the 5th engine if necessary. It looks like that's... I don't know. He might not be doing it.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you what, this is a new machine. It just fired this week right here. And bottom line, you know,
he's ready.
This guy right here come out new. You don't know what you're going to get.
He's going with 4 engines.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, man, got to fire in the hole. Fire in the hole.
Yep.
Looks like he launched one of those motors, possibly.
I'll tell you what, he made a run, though, with what he had.
Yes, he did. I think he did run on 4 engines. He did run on 4 engines that time.
Yeah.
And which puts quite a strain on those other motors. That's a lot of money sitting out there with
a lot of
strain on it.
A lot of money.
Here we go. Here you can see there's nothing coming out of that top engine there in the back. It's totally off. You can see those other 4 engines kicking out. He's got dropping a cylinder up here in the front left engine.
See him sliding over here too.
Yep.
Moving out as he goes.
But he still made a pretty good pull under the circumstances.
Yes, he did. Good job, Pipe. Good job.
He could be a candidate for your team there.
Could be a candidate. American Dream Team. 2-hour special next Friday.
Makes you wonder what he could have done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
With all 5 of them. All right, Dave Burns, is that right? One motor didn't run at all?
Let's ask him, Mike, what about it? Did you start with 4, not 5? And why'd you decide to go, if so?
Well, we had a little problem with the storyline back here. We broke some parts, and that was a good pass, but I could have made a little better run. I think we got a lot of engine reworking to do. Way it looked, we was on fire there for a while, but I laid her in there as long as I could, and hey, if she goes to the ground, she just goes to the ground.
And as Dusty said, guys, that is true. This is a breakout for this particular machine. It's the first time he's run it, so he knew he was going to have some bugs.
And understand that every time that front end goes to ground, okay, they lose about 10 feet of the overall pull distance. So it's critical. Once it comes up, it stays up until the pull is over.
Get that ball away from my girl.
Rejoin us. In the unlimited pull-off,
hey, what is this? Get my girl. Who's my girl? Dante. Look at this. You get that ugly stuff out of that pit. Who is that?
You're losing them.
You're losing them.
You're losing them.
For the younger
that's
guys.
Ugly and oogly, and that's oogly. Where's there?
You should listen to me. You never listen to me.
No, let's listen to the turbines of Gardner Stone. He's got to go 297 feet.
Current leader is Mike Piper, 297 feet on 4 engines.
Yep, and I don't think he likes his chances of that holding up.
Yeah, I don't like my chances of that guy standing there. My girls either. Daddy got to talk to her. Whoa!
Here we go.
Crank it up, brother. Come on.
Get that front end up, Gardner. Hike her up. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Whoa,
Keep
look
it up.
at
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Oh, baby. He's got it, baby. He's got it. He's got it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No.
It's close.
That is going to be so close.
Close.
Mike Piper right now biting his nails. They'll get a laser measurement from NTPA. As soon as we get that, we'll forward it on to you. 297 is where the bar is.
297, that's where Mike Piper ran. You know, going back to Piper, you know, he only had those 4 engines. He obviously had the motors kind of soft in the first run, and he leaned on them a little bit in the second run, but he couldn't get the car or the motor started on the final run. Here we got a good shot at Gardner Stone. Those big, powerful T55 jet engines are putting out some torque.
If you couldn't get those surplus and just big parts barrels, it would cost you $1.5 million a piece.
Can you
these are all out
imagine
of old junk parts, and he's been running them for almost 10 years, trouble-free.
Yeah, you're not going to go to your dealership and pick these up. Look at this shake, rattle, and roll right here. Right up there, Dante.
Now, do they
looks good there.
Do they have junkyards for T55 jet engines?
Yep. Hey, Gardner Stone takes over the top spot in the pull-off at 3:08.1.
Great pull, great pull.
Dave Burns?
Gardner, 3:08 and change. Good job. How did it feel?
It felt all right. It popped a little off the line. It scared me right to death. But I hope it holds, but there's 2 good tractors behind me. It's anybody's ball game.
Did you think about shutting it down at all?
No. You got to go for it.
All right, Gardner Stone, the new leader, guys.
No, he doesn't shut him down. But now it's Mr. Gardner Stone. The pressure is on because Dave Walsh is the next one up.
Where my girls at?
Well, here live on TNN Motorsports in Tomah, Wisconsin, we're starting to get just a little bit of a shower, but so far we are soldiering on. And hey, you Motor Madness Derby fans, the next live demo Derby event will come crashing your way from the famous Riverside Park Raceway in Agawam, Massachusetts. That's on Friday, September 18th. The first annual Back to School Bash. I know you kids don't want to hear about it, but it's not till September 18th. For information on tickets and entry forms, call the track directly at 800-370-7488. Just one man left, and that is Dave Walsh. The Irish Challenger has to pull, further than 307 feet?
308 feet.
Gardner Stone, 308 feet.
I tell you what, I think he can do it. There they go, taking a look at him right there. These
Gardner's
2 guys.
on edge now. He knows how that feels.
Yeah. You know what? Making a full pull, guys, is like making a touchdown in football. That's really what it's all about.
Or having 4 dream girls.
With 100 yards to go.
Dan would know what that is. Here we go.
Here we go.
Got it smooth, got up top.
Wheels up.
Keep it straight, brother.
I don't know. Oh, it's going to be tight.
No,
you don't know.
I don't think so.
Does not make it. Gardner Stone is the champion on this evening in Tomah, Wisconsin with the unlimited class. So it was a night for the turbines.
Yes, it was.
A little unexpected. Well, not actually.
I need a turban on my head.
The Turbines have won been first and second at the only Grand National event so far this year, so maybe a little bit of a trend developing there.
Gardner, you weren't too sure you were going to hang on to the win there when Dave got started, but what do you think went wrong there?
Dave made a great run. He had a lot of speed, but that sled is set real heavy at the other end, and I thought he was going to zing it right out here, but then, the sled caught him.
Congratulations, you won the pull-off.
Thank you.
Gardner Stone, he's won most every major event in the NTPA, guys. He pulls off another one here tonight.
And Dave Walsh had to get on the brakes hard, and that just killed him. So Gardner Stone is the champion tonight at 308 miles an hour. All right, we'll be right back with the 2-wheel trucks.